We got to talk about My Hero Academia yet again. Apparently, there is some very bizarre things going on a Chinese social media platform where people are talking about going to Horikoshi's house. And you can imagine what they would do to Horikoshi after that. Let's take a look. This website, Manga Thrill, has a segment about this topic. We'll take a look at this. Also, I want to give a thanks to Baku Girl for tipping me off about this story. She sent me some good information in an email. Thank you, Baku Girl. So they say here, the issue regarding Koei Horikoshi's situation started on a Chinese social media page as one client shared their grievances about Horikoshi. Wow, Horikoshi, a guy who just enjoys making manga and art, you know, what a bad dude. Oh my gosh. They say, this assault came a long time after the arrangement was prohibited in China because of an apparent reference covered up in the manga with respect war crimes, it says. I think there's a typo there in the article. Now, if you don't know what they're talking about there, let's talk about that briefly. Covered this over on Niannet, actually. This was the prior story where All For One's doctor's name was revealed in the manga as Shige Maruta, and some people took umbrage with that because they didn't like how the name could debatably be referencing Unit 731 from Japan. And, you know, a lot of terrible stuff happened with Unit 731. If you don't know what happened there, I advise you to maybe look it up. Just know it's a lot of disturbing stuff. Medical experimentation on humans, this sort of thing. Very messed up stuff that went on. Now, Horikoshi has since denied that the name was actually referencing that. He said it was a play on words regarding, I believe, actually the character being fat, and also a play on Shigaraki's name, hence the Shiga Maruta part. So there's more to it than just referencing the name. Now, that said, maybe Horikoshi really was referencing Unit 731, and he backpedaled on it after all the backlash he got. I really don't know. I mean, there was a lot of backlash. Horikoshi even came out and apologized. This was the first statement he made. It says, many have heard that the name Shigemuruta, which appeared in the Jump this week, is reminiscent of historical events. I didn't mean that in the naming. We take your comments very seriously and replace your name in the future. That was the first thing he said about this. The second, indeed, they did change the character's name, and he apologized for it. I don't think that was the best move. Now, the situation's a little complicated because some people in the West were getting really outraged about this because they like to act like they're mad about anything that they can. You know, they like to get their little virtue signaling points, very insincere stuff. Some people in China were mad about it, and also South Korea, because, again, Unit 731. And that said, China was especially mad because certain businesses, not the government, certain businesses in China were then banning My Hero Academia from being sold in their stores. So I think ultimately the backlash overall probably affected Horikoshi's decision, but a lot of it came down to business. And unfortunately, people seem to love bending the knee to China. I don't think that's the right move. It is what it is, though. That's the old story. If you're audio only, I also just showed on screen a picture of a report that discussed how Tencent and Bilibili were also banning My Hero Academia in China more specifically. However, I also recall having seen pictures on social media of just what seems to be independent brick-and-mortar retail shops in China also banning My Hero Academia. All right, so we're back to the report I was showing earlier on in the video, except now I've got some of it highlighted because I took a look at the rest of this, and I gotta say, some of the stuff that they write here is quite odd in my opinion, so I'd like to discuss that with you. Also, the English is just rather broken, so if I sound weird reading this, please bear with me. Here's what they say. While Horikoshi and his distributor have focused on the reference was unexpected, netizens, for example, this individual, have not acknowledged the expression of remorse. My Hero Academia fans started sharing updates on Twitter saying that life dangers went from easy to intricate, as the bully said they proposed to go to Horikoshi's home in mid-April. The netizen said he is, as of now, in Japan and plans to misrepresent his nationality to forestall Horikoshi from being suspicious. However, fans rushed to report the danger to editors at Shueisha. There have been no reports on the circumstance throughout the end of the week. However, fanatics of My Hero Academia are facing the bully. While Horikoshi ruffled a lot of plumes with his atrocious debate, he has endeavored to retouch those messed up ties. Indeed, even fans who are as yet irate with the artist concur these extraordinary dangers are wrong. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about the highlighted areas. The first two, it's not really criticism, I'm just kind of elaborating on what they wrote. My criticism is going to come at the latter part here, starting where the blue is and ending with this latter area. So we'll start with this segment. While Horikoshi and his distributor have focused on the reference was unexpected, netizens, for example, this individual have not acknowledged the expression of remorse. Now, this part I don't really have anything bad to say about the article. I'm just kind of clarifying what I think they mean here. They're saying that the person who wants to go to Horikoshi's house is not acknowledging Horikoshi's remorse, the apology, the name change. And again, that's why I said months ago that apologizing would do absolutely nothing except make you look weak. It makes you look weak because the people that want you to apologize now have power over you. They realize that they can complain about whatever and try to get you to change the product to what they want. It's not good. That said, the situation is a little more complicated, as I already discussed, because certain retailers in China were also banning My Hero Academia. So there was additional pressure on Horikoshi and Shueisha to make changes because of that as well. Still, the point stands. Bending the knee, apologizing, not a good take. And again, I absolutely don't support bending the knee to China either. So I don't like what they did there. Criticism to Shueisha and Horikoshi, to be fair, although I fully support Horikoshi. I absolutely do, and that's quite obvious. Continuing on, they write, in this segment, this highlighted area, My Hero Academia fans started sharing updates on Twitter saying that life dangers. So they let Horikoshi know he's in danger. They say they propose to go to Horikoshi's home in mid-April. So again, no criticism on that part. I'm just kind of breaking this down. So it looks like this person wanted to go to Horikoshi's home mid-April. So we're coming up to that. Now, here's where it gets weird. This last part's where I have criticism. They say fanatics of My Hero Academia are facing the bully. Fanatics, if you guys watch my RWBY content, you know fanatic is a term I like to use for the RWBY fanatics. The people who just witch hunt and hate others and smear others. Like, it's not a good thing. Now, granted, I don't make the context of a word. However, I think the context of the actual definition of fanatic does fall more with the way I'm using it than how they're using it here. So this is a little nitpicky, a little personal thing. However, I don't think you should call the people defending Horikoshi fanatics. I think you should just call them fans. So that's a little nitpicky from me. That's just my opinion. Now, here's where they really deserve criticism, though. They write, while Horikoshi ruffled a lot of plumes with his atrocious debate, they're saying Horikoshi's debate was atrocious? I don't even know what debate they're referring to. I'm going to just take that as this whole situation, like Horikoshi naming the doctor Shigemuruta and all that. If they're saying that's atrocious, I mean, I absolutely think that's a bad take. I don't think Horikoshi did anything wrong. The guy has nothing to apologize for, in my opinion. Did nothing wrong. Should never have apologized for it. So I really think this is a weird take in the article. And then they say, he has endeavored to retouch those messed up ties. Again, the article is framing it like Horikoshi did something wrong. I just massively disagree with that. So that's my criticism. The English is a little broken and weird. Although, to be fair, the above highlighted areas is not criticism, it's just clarification. That last part, though, weird take. Just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below about that. Moving right along, here is the actual Bilibili post. And I'm going to play like 5 seconds of this video just so you can kind of get an idea about what's going on here. It's got, toga, and there's not much more you can make of this unless you can read and understand what they're talking about. Here you go, though, for an example. Now we will go to the comments and use Bing Translator to kind of get an idea about what's going on while not relying on other news outlets reporting and that sort of thing. Let's see what the people are talking about directly the best we can. So the first top comment on that video translates to April 15th, 12:30 through 1:30, preferably 30 minutes in advance. What I'm doing now is really just kind of fact-checking what's going on since I can't actually read what they're saying. I'm just kind of assuming that these articles claiming that these people are trying to show to Horikoshi's house are not, pulling our leg. I like to verify that stuff, though. So now we can see that they are indeed talking about April 15th and 12:30 through 1:30, preferably 30 minutes in advance. They're talking about this for some reason. So it just goes to show, it backs up the reporting that's going on already, that this is apparently really something that they were planning to do. Granted, Bing Translator isn't perfect either, so some of this isn't accurate. However, the first comment in response to the one that we just saw apparently says, be careful to be safe. Be careful to splash a dog's blood. Second comment responding to that other one says, follow me to give. Pay attention to safety. So let me just explain. I'm not saying that these are accurate translations by any means. I'm just reading between the lines. I'm really reading between the lines here, just kind of backing up what prior reporting has told us. That's all I'm really doing here. So, make of this what you will. Of course, I'm not going to tell you how to form your own opinion. I'm just explaining what I'm doing. Now, this is the second highest comment from the top, and this actually has more upvotes than the first one. This one says, seriously, apart from this, I can see a few eyes once on the website. The other do not want to see. Also not interested. So it sounds like this person doesn't want to partake in whatever's going on. All that I know so far is there's dates being thrown around, times being thrown around, telling people to show up early, some weird talk about being safe and careful while you're doing it, and the person uses Toga in the video. And, Toga's cool. I like Toga. She's a villain, though, and she's kind of, a fill in the blank, right? So why are they using Toga? I mean, just given the context, maybe it is a little nefarious. Why? Like, I'm not going out and saying if you post Toga on social media, you're a bad person, and I have Toga merch right behind me. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, given the context, I worry that they're using Toga because she's a villain and they kind of want, to seem like they're a villain or something. I don't know. Maybe this is just some weird role playing. Maybe this person thinks they're literally a villain from My Hero Academia and they're trying to act like a villain in the real world or something and take it out on Horikoshi. I don't know. This is a weird situation, guys. This is another comment entirely, not a response. And you have to scroll down a little bit to find this one. This is the lengthiest comment, though. At least that's how it looks. And it says a lot of really interesting stuff here. Again, just kind of corroborating what we know so far about the situation. They say, I think you have been suspected of violating the law on the illegalicity of the state into the house, spreading bad information, deliberately inciting hate and contradictions not in line with the party's core socialist values, affecting the country's development, causing adverse effects, and undermining China and Japan friendly and cooperative relations. It's up to you to do. The internet is not an extra legal place. Don't affect China's reputation. Don't top this Chinese identity to China's shame. High school politics class to learn. Rational patriotism, I thank you. Don't give the ancestral country chaos. Now is a very bad time already. I can thank you. Don't give Chinese shame. I think I've seen all I really need to see. In my opinion, it does seem like, yeah, there is a person, maybe a small group, planning to go to Horikoshi's home mid-April. And even more nefarious, or arguably just as nefarious, I suppose, is that they also seem to want to act like they are Japanese or something, and they want to hurt Japan's reputation, and therefore also hurt the relations between Japan and China. I don't know. Very weird situation going on. I get the gist of it. Hopefully you do too, whether you agree with me or not. Hopefully you have seen enough to kind of form an opinion about this. And please let me know in the comments below what you think, because what a weird situation this is. Yes, the good news is, however, that Horikoshi and Shueisha are aware of all of this and are preparing for whatever might happen. This is the internet. Generally, it's a lot of talk, not a lot of action. Hopefully that's the case here. No one actually shows up to Horikoshi's apartment. It's concerning, though, man. This Horikoshi has had so much nonsense thrown at him for the last 2 years or so. It's really sad. The dude doesn't deserve all of that, in my opinion. I'm glad that we're there to support him in, the ways that we can. It just sucks that this is even a thing. If you enjoy this video, please like it. Thumbs up the video. It does certainly help, and consider sharing it as well. Also, while you're here, maybe consider subscribing and turning the notification bell on if you haven't done that already, okay? Thank you. Finally, I'd like to give an extra thanks to the kind people who promoted yesterday's video over on Twitter. If you promoted it elsewhere and I don't know about it, thank you for doing that. My system only tells me on Twitter, and only the first 20 people. On this one, we had 17, so I should get everyone. If I miss you somehow still, I apologize. Shout out to Meshikari, KJ Collins, Amzranon, Enigma, Shogun, Phoenix, Chaotic, Dinosaur King, Deshaun M, Mr. Anime 343, Intimidator 0108, Goldenort X, The Ice Cream is Just an Illusion, Phantom Ravenwood, back at it with the old name, On the Brain, Baku Girl, that's fitting, considering this video is also a news tip from you, and NPC. Oh, I just realized your name. I didn't catch it until I read it out loud. That's really funny. This dude spelled C like in Spanish, so hey, clever stuff. Thank you for the laugh at the end. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.